what's going on? Daniel from D7Cs. Man, I could not wait for this one again. The last 2 or 3 knives that I've gotten into my collection, I just cannot wait. So here it goes. Today I'm bringing to you a knife that I've been chasing for 3 to 4 years. This is a Koenig, but to me it's a very special one. The unboxing knife of the day is gonna be the Renegade. Let me just go ahead and I'm just playing. No, you do not need to cut into this box. This has a magnetic flap, so I'm just gonna open it up. This is not a new model, but it is a model that I've been yearning for a while. This is the Arius Arius full-size non-flipper. Let's go! I got this on the secondary, of course. For me, these don't come around all that often. So, when they do pop up, either I don't have the funds or it just gets snagged real quickly. But like I said, patience will pay off, guys. And so this time around, the timing was perfect. I had the funds available and I was able to snag it, and so here you go. So I've had the full-size flipper Arius for a while. Absolutely love that knife. Ended up selling it because I just wasn't carrying it all that much, but I was always intrigued. Always intrigued, sorry for I'm stumbling here, about the non-flipper, because as much as I love the flipper version, I did feel like, it'd be great if there was like a forward finger choil. But check this out. This is in the silver hardware, the textured handle pattern. It looks really sweet. It looks super dope, guys. I love the silver hardware. I prefer the silver over the blue and even the bronze. I would say like silver is my number one, and then bronze, and then the blue. But yeah, oh my gosh, take a look at this guy. You may notice, if you have a sharp eye, you may notice the clip, it looks a little different. It's because the previous owner actually Scotch-Brighted the pocket clip to give it, I guess, a little bit more of like a different aesthetic. I think it looks pretty cool, but everything else is pretty much factory config. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Let's just open her up. Oh man, of course I love the Koenig action, guys. Koenig action is just is sweet. It is so sweet. But oh wow, honestly, I think the Arius looks aesthetically better without the flipper. It's just something about the lines, the flipper, I feel like it kind of interrupts the line a little bit. This non-flipper, just all the lines just flow into one another. It's just, this is such a beautiful knife, guys. Beautiful knife. I do want to show this off. This is the Holt Renegade. Just a quick little, size comparison. As you can see, the Renegade is no small knife either. It's a good, I would say, like medium-sized knife. Anyway, back to the start of the show, guys. Oh, yep. As I suspected, this feels so much better than the flipper. To have that forward finger choil, I love forward finger choils. That's why I really like the Strider SNGs. I just really like when they have like forward finger or double finger choils going on. This is probably like a triple finger choil or a triple finger choil situation, because I get 2 of these middle fingers into that large choil, and then of course that middle, or the pointer in that forward. Oh, that's money. This is like, this is like $100 money. This is like $1,000 money. This feels so good just to choke up. Oh my gosh, this is nice. This is nice. Oh man, I'm so glad I waited around. This is nice, guys. Now I do see the mini Arius non-flippers starting to pop up out in the wild. So I'm just super curious about that. I'm sure that would also feel very good in hand. I do have the mini Arius, the flipper version. I don't have it with me here, but that is one of my favorite knives ever, the mini Arius. But wow, this non-flipper does not disappoint, guys. Oh my gosh, there's just that Koenig action, guys. That Koenig action is just so wonderful. It is just, the Koenig action is definitely different from like the Oz Roosevelt action versus the Halt Renegade action versus the Brown Mini FSD action. They all have very phenomenal actions, but each one of them are also very unique. That's what I love about these knives is that they're not like all like very similar. They are very similar in terms of like their craftsmanship, their quality is just so far above and beyond. But it's just their actions are just so great, but they're great in their own unique ways. And just Koenig, just their action is just so beautiful. I don't know how else to put it. Koenig makes like some very elegant, just beautiful knives. Like, oh man, look at that profile, guys. Look at that silhouette. Like, that is like it is one of the most beautiful silhouettes like I've seen. Now it's not the most beautiful knife that I've have in my collection for sure. I would say probably the Halt Renegade or the Skiff Culprit that I literally had for like 1 or 2 days. I think these are probably my top two most beautiful knives. But in terms of like just the silhouette, the outline, this Arius Non Flipper, man, that just really does it for me. Just something about these lines are just, oh, they're just so beautiful. Look at that. This is, I believe, in the M390. You could always tell if you kind of open it, opener right there. There it goes. M390. Oh, yeah, blade is beautifully centered. Oh, man, guys, I'm good with a non-flipper. When I had the Arius, the flipper, I would actually do the Spidey flick more than actually use the flipper, even though the flipper works amazingly well. It's just I always found myself using that Spidey flick. I don't know why, but that just feels money right there, guys. That is just money. Just want to do a quick close up. Look at that. Wow, I've never handled like a textured like handle pattern before. The ones that I have, the mini Arius and the full size flipper Arius that I had before, they were all just the smooth titanium. So I was a little bit curious on how this textured stuff would be. And gosh, I gotta say this actually I really really like this textured. It does give a little bit more traction in the hand because this is definitely like a smooth knife. Even with this like textured pattern, it's still fairly smooth, but it does provide that texture. It does add a little bit more of warmth in the hand. It does kind of like micarta ish, just feel wise. But yeah, look at that. That is just beautiful. Koenig is just, to me, like Koenig is just an all arounder, like wonderful knife. Koenig makes some of the I think they've kind of become my baseline. Before it was Chris Reeve, but now I think it's changed to Koenig. Koenig does everything that needs to be done right. Absolutely goes above and beyond. You know, everything just from the feel in hand, the comfort, the action, the detent, the break is so crisp, and then most importantly, performance. I've had, like I said, I had the full size Arius for a few years, and I used that sucker, and just something about, excuse me, just this hollow grind to the way they heat treated their blade steels. It just performs so well, and so I knew coming into this one, I was like, man, this thing's gonna perform well. I know this feels so good in hand in different grips. Oh yeah, guys. Oh, the action is just awesome. Anyways, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna do a full review on this one just because I've done a full review on my other areas, but I may. It just depends. But I gotta say that this knife is just absolutely beautiful. Um, it just really goes above and beyond what I expected. Even though I've had an Arius, it's just yeah, it's what a knife. What a knife, guys. What a knife. Let me just go ahead and bring out my honestly this the whole Renegade is just this knife is just freaking it is just ridiculous, guys. But here you guys go. Oh, I would say they fit very well into I would say the new Trinity. I don't know what the Trinity is nowadays. Some people say it's like Koenig, Brown, and Oz. That's actually what I initially said until I got into Holt Renegade, and that kind of changed up the game. I would say probably the top right now for me would be like Koenig, Skiff, the Skiff Culprit that I had, and then the Holt Renegade, and then I would then add a fourth would be the Brown Knives Mini FSD. So yeah, it's not a Trinity. What is this? A quartet? Is that what it is? Or I don't know. Anyways, that'd be like my top like knives right now. But I just feel like knife makers and companies continue to push the envelope and they continue to bring us like some freaking ridiculous stuff. But anyways, here you guys go. You know, this knife is just yeah, what a knife, guys. All right, yeah. Well, have any questions or comments? Drop them down below. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to give me a subscription. All right. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful rest of the day.